Hello, and welcome to Getting It Done, a podcast about music, education, and life lessons. I'm your host, Tim Rausenberger, and today is Thursday, June 6th, 2019. This is episode 284, Self-Worth, Self-Esteem, and self-motivation. Ah, the sounds of Beethoven. This is his all too familiar Moonlight Sonata. The interesting thing is, I chose this particular piece. I gotta stop talking for a second. And I had to stop talking there just for a moment because we have those moments in life. And that was a musical moment. The interesting thing is, this is only one of Beethoven's 32 sonatas for the piano. Beautiful, isn't it? But there are so many other fantastic pieces that he and other composers wrote that are very comparable. Yet, if you've ever seen any documentaries or read books on Beethoven, you'll know that this particular piece really had a very, very special place in his heart. And I think a lot of people find that when you listen to this music, it helps you to reflect. It helps you to think a lot about life in general. And that's why I decided I wanted to start with this particular tune tonight. We're going to kind of fade this away here, so just give me a second here. There we go. Okay, so we have a new thing here. You'll probably notice I've got the headphone thing going on, and it's my way to try to continue to improve the podcast in different types of sounds that are being picked up. And I appreciate all the feedback from everyone. Hopefully from everything I'm hearing, at least, everything seems to be sounding good with the microphone levels. So hopefully on your end, it's not too loud, it's not too soft, it's just right. That's our goal here. Welcome to Getting It Done. Thanks for joining us here on this Thursday, June 6, 2019. I'd like to give a big shout out to the people I've seen already who have gotten involved in the chat, and you will certainly be wanting to get involved with things a little bit more with the podcast after you find out the details of our big drawing coming out, which is amazing. So big shout out first to Lewish. Hello to Lewish. Thank you for joining us here tonight. A regular Esther is here. Jessica, you're here as well. They'll probably be here, Jess. It is, if you notice, I'm kind of having these lighting situations here where it's just beautiful outside today. Maybe a little bit on the hot side, is hitting 90 or so when I got home, but I think a lot of people are just out and enjoying the really nice weather. Thank you for the compliment about the gray. We've got the trumpet tie going on today, but thank you very much for the gray. And yes, I have worked very, very hard. Thank you. I take a lot of pride in everything I've done with the diet and improving myself, and trying to also improve my own self-worth, self-esteem, self-motivation. Trying to improve that every single day, and hopefully I can pass along some of the things that I've realized and the lessons that I've had as the sun takes over my face. Wow, that's kind of cool what's going on there. So at any rate, the duck tie will be missed. Thank you for sharing. Hello, Jazzy. Good to see you. Gallegos. Hello, Michelle. Gallegos. Thank you for being here as usual. Appreciate you checking in. Please make sure, guys, to get that like button going. Okay, it's always very, very important. So what is tonight's show all about? about self-worth, self-esteem, self-motivation. We're going to get into some different things here. We're going to do something a little bit different tonight. Tonight, what I'd like you to do, if you can, it could be, I don't know if some of you might be using your phone, you might be using a laptop, or a desktop computer, or you may even be using some other type of method, some type of video game system where you're able to get onto the internet and follow the entire podcast episode, follow YouTube using any of those different types of devices. What I need you to do right now, however you want to do it, whether it's through a way you can maybe take notes on your phone, or if you find something to write with, I'd like you to do that right now. So if you can, I'm just going to give you kind of a moment here, maybe a minute or two, to try to find something to write with, something to write on, because that's going to kind of I think help you with being able to work on these different types of methods. And I encourage you to do that whenever you're listening to any of these podcasts. The goal is to provide you with feedback, but also to provide you with life lessons and things, whether they're relating to music or education or just, well, life in general. And the more that we are able to record, more specifically, the more that we're able to write down. If we're able to write the information down, there's something that is just scientifically proven about the pen or the pencil with the hand and the connection it makes going all the way up to our brains. And we seem to retain a lot of that information a lot better. So as I am kind of biding a little bit of time here, so hopefully you're able to do that. Find something to write with, find something to write on. If you're here for tonight, if you are in the chat, if you are catching up here, you had a long day, you're just kind of catching up to the live episode a little bit later, you can do this now. I've given you a little bit of time here. So what I'm going to do is something, again, new, something a little bit different. I'm going to do two different pieces of music for you. Actually, I'm going to play two different pieces of music for you. One of them is recorded and one of them is not. Again, I always have to find music that is not going to set off any types of flags and all different types of crazy things. So that's always very, very challenging. So I have another piece I'd like to play for you. So just give me a second. I'm just going to pull it up here. And what I'd like you to do is, as you're listening to the piece, I want you to write down different things that relate to your own personal self-worth, self-esteem, and different ways that you may or may not be motivated while you're listening to the piece. In other words, you're listening to the piece, what kind of goes off in your brain? We are all different. We all react differently to music. So what is going off inside of that head of yours? Let's find out. Okay, let's take a look. So here we go. Okay, so next 2.5 minutes, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually write down my own thoughts. I'm going to do this too. So I'm just going to kind of type this up the side. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of copy and paste my different thoughts into the chat, share them with you. You're welcome to also share your comments in the chat if you feel comfortable doing so. If you don't, that's totally fine, totally okay. And again, for those of you just tuning in right now, welcome. Great to see you. You see the new stuff going on. We've got the hair thing going on, but tonight we've got some headphones. I'm trying to work a little bit with my sound and make sure that we're not too loud, not too soft. Your feedback again in the chat relating to that would be very helpful. Right now I'm going to be playing a piece of music. It's a piano piece. I'll tell you the name of the piano work afterwards. And what I'd like you to do right now is to write down things relating to your own concepts of self-worth, self-esteem, and self-motivation as you're listening to this particular recording of this quite frankly beautiful and very powerful piece of music. So here we go. And while again you're doing this, I'm going to be off to the side and I'm going to be doing the same thing as you. All right, here we go. want to start off by saying it's amazing. Music is incredible because there are so many ways that piece could have ended. And I'm talking specifically about that last chord. If I go back just for a second, I just want you to listen just to the last chord. Just the last chord only. Well, I'm not going to play just the last chord. I'm going to do my best to rewind here. But I'm going to get into the last chord. I want you to notice that the chord that the composer's chosen. Happy or not so happy. Could have gone either way. Now, the composer could have ended it with something we call in music a Picardy third, which is taking the music at the end and a piece of music that's somewhat somber, somewhat sad, and instead of ending it on a sad chord, actually taking the chord and turning it into a major chord and actually giving maybe a sense of hope, a sense of happiness. And that didn't happen in this particular piece. This is a prelude in E minor by Frédéric Chopin. And I'll type that into the chat if any of you want to look that up. It's an extremely powerful piece. I think that Asher said it extremely well. And hello, Asher. I've not seen you here before. Appreciate you checking in. So name of the piece is Prelude in E minor. I sincerely apologize. I should be better, and I will be better. It is by Frédéric Chopin. I'm sure that it's going to be the first thing that comes up if you do a keyword search in Spotify or iTunes or YouTube. Probably one of the first ones that comes up. But it's remarkable. You take a look at that last chord and really chooses to go that much further. I think that's really incredible. So it's pretty amazing. I really think that that the person who wrote this, Chopin, I think that he really went through a lot of different stages and waves in his life, and I think that that's absolutely nothing short of remarkable. So what did I write down? Let's take a look at that. All right. So the first one, I'm gonna hold off on the first one. The first one's a little bit on the powerful side. I don't want to actually go on some of the things that hopefully will give you some inspiration and some motivation. Because the next one is powerful, and I don't want. It was kind of a sad and moving piece, but I didn't. While my first thought gravitated towards this particular topic, which I'll get to as my fifth item, I'm going to start off with the second one that I wrote down first, and the first one that I wrote down was how important my existence is on Earth to others. And it's been a pretty amazing week. This past week, I had some really big performances with my students, which were remarkable. The last 2 days were amazing, and but I had a lot of time to reflect, and that's where number 5 will be coming in. A lot of time to reflect this past week, and it's incredible because I don't know why, but for whatever reason, there were people who had contacted me for various reasons and in all different types of settings, and it meant a lot to me for them to say how much they appreciated everything that I had done for them, the time that I'd given to them. Relating again to number 5, that was something that really stuck to me. And you're probably wondering, what is that number 5? And I won't keep you in suspense too long, I promise. I'll kind of move along. But I'll say that that second one here, the how important my existence is on Earth to others, I just I'm so grateful. I'm grateful that there are people out there who do appreciate. They say unfortunately, there's that saying, no good deed goes unpunished. And that's unfortunately very true. There's a lot of people who are jealous out there. There are a lot of people who get, I don't know why, I don't have an answer, why they get angry, why they get upset at the happiness of others. I'll never understand it. I don't know why people are mean. It's just the great unknown. And it's been something I've talked about with actually a lot of people this past week. So let's move along here, and let's get to some of these other items that I wrote down. So this one is this was big, and again related a lot to number 5. There she is. Ashley has joined us. How much I love to teach. How much I love to teach. And yes, what's poppin'? And you know what? That's why I love to teach. I love to teach because I have someone who's asking me, yeah, there it is. I can do that. Now I know exactly how loud I am into this microphone because of these things here. This thing goes into the Yeti over here. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. But yeah, I mean, what's popping, Mr. R? It's great. It's great to see that someone is happy. Someone's happy to be here. Someone appreciates it. And I just love teaching. It's just the way it is. Buenos nachos to you too. That's right. Pass the nachos. I just love teaching. It's just in my blood. It's always there. And that's the reason I do the podcast. It gives me my own creative outlet to be able to do things that are and do things and be able to present types of things that I'm not able to necessarily do every single day in my everyday life, whether it has to do with my job, whether it has to do with other facets of my life, of other things that I do. I'm able to have my own voice. I'm able to express my opinions. And so this is great. And I love seeing the people chiming in. Again, if you're just tuning in, I started off the episode with a piece by Beethoven, very powerful piano sonata, which a lot is beloved by many. And then I followed up with another piano piece, a Chopin E minor prelude. And hopefully you'll be able to do some different types of reflection on that. So let's take a look now at the next item I had, which is this. And this is, I'm hoping this is going to make you all very happy, because this is exactly what went through my mind as I'm fighting with my mouse. Yay, fighting with mouse. Okay. How happy I am that so many amazing people came to tonight's podcast. It means a lot to me. Yeah, and I absolutely am of the mindset, and I've always been this way, is, when you get famous, don't forget me. Don't forget the little people. Believe me, I've never forgotten any of those people throughout the course of my career. The people who have done great things for me, still to this day, I will send them random messages frequently just to thank them for being my friends. I do this constantly. I don't know why other people don't do it. I encourage you to do it. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to give you better self-esteem. It's going to motivate other people. It's going to make them feel better. It's going to make them feel a better sense of self-worth. And I encourage you to do it. To sit here and say that you don't appreciate that. How could you not? That it feels great to have somebody acknowledging you. I had a student today. The student was sad. No other way to put it. What do you do when you see a sad student? You try to fix the issue. That's what you're supposed to do as a teacher. That's what teachers are supposed to do. You don't just sit there. No. And I saw this particular student was extreme. I could just see him, just be able to read it and just talk for a little while. And the student had a huge smile after a few minutes. And it's just a matter of just showing that you care. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what life is all about, is that you care about other people. Everybody wants to be loved. Everyone wants to be loved. So that's a big deal. So thank you to all of you so much for being here. I'll continue to do this. As long as we have supporters, I'm going to continue to do this. There's going to be a point. It's going to happen in which we're going to have an insane number of people watching. It's only a matter of time. But don't think for a minute that you're all of a sudden going to be muted and you're going to be in the background. Look at someone like Michelle. You better not forget me. It's impossible. Possible. And the reason why it's impossible is because you've made an impact on my life. Just by virtue of your personality, the type of person and the type of things that you bring every day. You're just bright and vibrant, and even when you're not having the best day, you're still able to do that. Still able to kind of put on that happy face. And someone like Esther. Esther's very, very, very special in that way. Esther was my sidekick. She actually helped me out at a concert recently. It's to something that she had to go completely out of her comfort zone to do in front of a really, really large audience, and she did it. And it was a really, really proud moment for me, but a much prouder moment for her. And these are different types of things that we do well beyond the Common Core, well beyond the standards. This stuff is not reflected in the CCCS of New Jersey. It's not reflected in the federal standards. There's nothing in there about the emotional impact and why it's so important, why mental health is so important, and why it's so important that we do care about other people, whether they're students, whether they're friends, they're family members, whoever it is. We all need to look out for each other. I'm gonna call him out. It just is what it is. I have a friend of mine. His name is Ken, and it's not the Ken that's in this particular chat here. It's a different friend I have named Ken. My goodness, I've learned so much about jazz over the last 2 weeks. It's all because of him. I have a completely new appreciation for jazz. I'm 46 years old and I'm learning about new types of music. I played the Beethoven. I know the Beethoven. I play the Chopin. I know the Chopin. I've heard it many, many times. But jazz, now I'm listening to it differently. And that's because of a friend who took the time without me asking, so passionate, to take the time, just type away and say, this is what you need to know. It's what you're not going to find in Wikipedia. It's not a great source anyway. But you're not going to find all the different articles and trying to read through the jargon and trying to listen to music. I'd listened to the music and I didn't hear the things that he was talking, that Ken was writing for me. And he wrote the stuff down. I'm like, wow, man, like this is great. I feel amazing. Feel amazing. Yeah. Did you like the episode yet? Come on. It's not that hard. Thumbs up. Maybe drop a comment below. Believe me, those comments are going to be coming in handy a little later when I talk about that big giveaway. And it is big. It is going to be a very, very, very big giveaway. Tonight, by the way, don't want to forget to say this. Where'd they go? I mean, really? That's what happens when you have a million things going on. I will say, I have to just do a little plug here. This was originally filled with yuca. Those, I guess, I've been told these are the veins. The veins. Oh, they are right there. Yeah, but incredible. This was boiled yuca. Earlier, last week, I had the hello, Edward. I had the fried yuca, which was just to die for. That was amazing. But we are tonight going to be having one. Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. Trickery. Two Amazon gift cards. Why? Because we had a major problem with our feed. That is not going to be happening tonight. Thank you very much. So we'll be giving away two $15 gift cards for Amazon. We'll be taking care of that towards the end of the episode. But now we're going to move along here with the different things that we're talking about. If you're just tuning in, we are reflecting on the Chopin E minor prelude for piano. And I asked people to write down their thoughts. If you're just tuning in, try to get yourself like a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, because I'm going to be doing something that I've never done on a podcast before. And I think you're going to really enjoy it. It's going to be a surprise for everyone. Alice doesn't even know about it. And that's kind of cool because a lot of times Alice is not always aware of some of the unexpected things I do in podcasts. So, all right. So number 4, we already had what I wrote down as I was listening to the Chopin, how important my existence is on earth to others. And they're all again in the chat. How much I love to teach, how happy I am that so many amazing people came out to support tonight's podcast. And now this one, number 4. How much I have grown as a person in just the past year. I mean, I can even just say 2019. There have been so many things that have happened in my life, positive, negative, adversity. I don't. It just seems like every time I turn around a corner, there's always some type of adverse situation, and it's just that's life. It's going to happen. And there are some people where there are more. I don't want to say bad things, but more adverse, more difficult situations that they have to go through than others. Just is what it is. I consider myself lucky in that way. I guess lucky to be unlucky with things, unfortunately, going wrong from time to time, and you just have to roll with the punches and know and expect. So with that said, what's my favorite video game? I'll get back to the. I'm gonna have to give a quick answer to that. Favorite video game. Wow, I shouldn't have to think this long. That's a bad answer. What's my favorite video game? Ms. PacMan? It's probably gonna be. It's not PacMan. Probably Ms. PacMan. I mean, I have to go back to the classics. And by the way, I am going to do an episode. This has just popped into my brain. I have a video game. I have an arcade machine downstairs. We're going to do an episode. I'm just going to play all different types of games. You can actually watch me play the games on my arcade machine. I have 60 games. 60. That's right. 60 games inside my multi-cade arcade machine. So we'll do an episode on that somewhere down the road. By the way, don't want to forget to tell you before I get to number 5, we will, the goal that we are going to be doing, my goal for next week is to be in a Spanish restaurant. Last week, we hit several different establishments in Union City. The goal is to be sitting in a Spanish restaurant in Union City. As soon as I have everything confirmed, I will let everyone know in advance. If you do want to maybe even be right there as part of the podcast, I'd have to give you the details in terms of signing waivers and in terms of being able to put your amazing face on there. So at any rate, though, so that's something we're looking to do, where I'm going to sample all different types of Spanish foods. And there's a place that's looking to partner with me, which I'm super, super excited about. And I cannot forget to say, very, very important, Burger King. Yes, may or may not be your favorite place, but huge plug right now to Burger King. Stamp it right now. This is 31 minutes into the episode. I have to do it. I'm going to tell you why. Burger King had an issue. They had messed up an order of mine. No, it was not fast food, because I really just don't do the fast food thing anymore. I'd gotten something else. It was something healthy on their menu, and unfortunately, they did not. Thank you, Esther. That's really nice. No, they do not. They do not suck. Okay, Burger King really came through, and I just left them a comment. I was not nasty about it. Sometimes I can be a little aggressive with my customer service because I do like situations to be righted. That didn't happen here. I just basically, matter of fact, had an amazing regional manager who called me up, totally hooked me up with all different types of free meals, free coupons, and she couldn't have been nicer. So I have to give a huge shout out to my friends at Burger King, specifically the Haskell, New Jersey location. So big shout out, big thumbs up for Burger King. Just got to say it. And so, yes, I understand that there are other places that you may enjoy. Remember, I was 100 pounds ago, so I enjoy all those places. I enjoyed whatever was open. All right. So at any rate, okay. So I want to address a question that I think Michelle said. What is a change I'm proud of this year? Wow. A change that I'm proud of this year. There are many. I think the biggest thing, and this is really tough, is I've learned to be more forgiving. And it's been difficult. I've had some situations just the past few weeks with where they were just, to me, they were unforgivable. I had friends with some things that happened where they said, get rid of that person, or don't ever communicate with that human being ever again. And there was something in me, and it wasn't just my heart speaking. I really talked it through with people, and my rule is I don't like to, as we're going to get back on topic, but sometimes we know our episodes evolve. I like to, as a rule, when things ever happen, adverse situations happen, and I encourage many of you to do this. I encourage all of you to do this. When something happens and you're really, really angry, I strongly encourage you, if you can, to take at least the night, to sleep it off and revisit the next day. That might be, some people may say the 24-hour rule, might be the 12-hour rule, whatever it is, but don't act or react right away. And I think too many people do that in this world, and that's why we have so much anger. That's why we have people who get into altercations. Unfortunately, in a lot of school districts, tensions are very, very high. When the weather, the temperature seems to rise with the weather, that also seems to affect a lot of people, and their decision making is not always the best. But I have learned to be a lot more forgiving. And that's been extremely, extremely difficult. So, Esther, what if it's in the day? Still, I try to encourage you to try to get through it, think it through, try to do it without people, and just do the best that you can to do that. Definitely take time to think it through before you say something that you may regret, especially if you are doing the texting thing. That's one of the worst things to do, by the way. Can we all please stop doing that? Can we stop doing that? Can we please stop having full-blown conversations through texts? That needs to stop, because you there's no vocal inflection. It's non-existent, and once it's typed, it's there forever. It's never going to disappear. So you've got to be really, really careful when you do those types of things. We can't take our words back. Once we say them, once we speak them, once we sing them, once we text them, once we type them, once we write them, they're there forever. It's not going away. Just got to think about that. All right, so now we got through those. I'm going to get to number 5, which is, it's a little deep, but it is the first thing that I thought of. And I'm going to just start the Chopin again before I type it out. And then you're going to understand why I typed this. So here we go. All right, so this is the Chopin. Cat Films. But we know who Cat Films really is. Cat Films, why don't you reveal who you really are? And hello, and thank you for joining us and coming back from work. Cat Films is amazing, but you all do know him. He is a regular on here, so feel free to join in. Again, this was the first reaction I had to this particular piece of music. All right, let's get this going on here. All right, so here it is again, the Chopin E minor prelude. So while there were a lot of other thoughts I had, a lot of them were on the happier side, I did have this thought, which was the first one that came through. It is directly related to episode 283. I cannot stress enough, please watch that episode. It's very, very powerful. It's very emotional. But the first thing that came to mind was the loss of an amazing person, Adele. And no, it's not the singer. And, it's unfortunate that I had people who reached out to me right away and they said, oh, my goodness, Adele died. Yeah, she did. And but it's not the singer, though. And I hope people are not looking at it as being some type of cheap ploy that I'm doing, because I would never ever do such a thing in using her name. Adele was a former student of mine, and she passed away 6 days ago. And while I was not incredibly close to her, there were a lot of people who were. And it brought back a flood of memories for me, because she had such, or has, I want to just say, such a supportive, amazing family network of friends. And I will say, and I know that some people don't like to hear this, and I don't want to get too deep tonight, but sometimes when people are suffering, it is better when they do pass on, and that was the case with her. She suffered for a long time, a very, very long time, and while she did make it into her 40s, I think that there was definitely a fighting spirit that she had that caused her to live a lot longer. But it wasn't just so much that. I think the thing that was really special about Adele, and I want to just say this quickly in the live episode, but you can focus a little more, again, episode 283, is that she lived her life. She lived life. It's not like so many people out there who, and these are people, it's not their self-awareness and their self-worth. It's not their self-esteem. With a lot of cases, for them, it's self-motivation. And it's those people that just work the 9-to-5 job, or they just work for the sake of working. They get home, they don't do anything at all. They do nothing. They just come home and they're just on social media, or they're just watching TV, or they're just watching silly videos, and then rinse and repeat. And they just do the same thing over and over. And it's not living life. You're not living life when you're doing that. That's just this endless cycle. And it's not, I'm not saying that you should be lazy and not work. That's not the message here. We all have to work. Everybody needs to work. We need to support ourselves in some way. But you also need to live life at the same time. And I look at no further than my house, and I have this gorgeous house. And for the longest time, I did not truly enjoy my house, my property. I didn't enjoy I have one of the best yards. And yes, we're going to do a podcast positively this summer from my yard. I have this incredible waterfall, and I had not the greatest deck. I'm in the process of getting a new deck. That's happening like right now as we speak. And eventually, once I have my new deck, I'm going to be out there, do a podcast episode right there. The sun will be up, and it'll be great. You know, it'll be even better if there's a thunderstorm, because I have a covered deck. But, I look at, there were so many times in my life where I wasn't living life. I was just working. And I think that when you can reflect, I think this episode is really, really important about reflection. So with that, I want to move to something that's going to be different, something I have not done before. I might have to move the microphone a little bit. But last episode, you got a little bit of a taste of my singing. Yeah, got a little bit of the pipes right here. Okay, some vocal cord action there. We're going to do something a little different. I'm going to do a little bit of playing for you here tonight. And yes, you're going to say, oh, wow, he's got the trumpet tie on for a reason. Well, not exactly. It's not going to be the trumpet tonight. I'll definitely do some trumpet playing for you at an episode. But no, tonight, actually, I'm going to kind of move this a little bit here so I have a little bit of room. All right, so I have brought my euphonium. There it is. So looks like a mini tuba. And for those of you who are not familiar with the euphonium, I will just type that into the chat here. Euphonium is also known as a baritone or a baritone horn. And it's essentially a mini tuba. It's the best way to explain it to people. When people see that, and of course you're saying that it's huge, well, you got to keep in mind how close the camera is. So, but it's actually, think of think of it as a mini tuba, but it's literally, it's about half the size of what a tuba actually is. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to just play a tune for you, but I'm improvising. I have not played this before. I'm just going to kind of think of some notes and just kind of go with an idea, and I'm just going to play for you. And what I want you to do, same thing as before. If you could right now take out something to write on, something to write with, or if you have to do it on your phone or whatever the case may be for your situation, if you could do that, though, know the Me channel theme is not happening, Miguel, but thank you for your suggestions. No, that is a thing of the past. We do not do that. But this is going to be straight up improvisation, because I think that improvisation is an amazing way to broaden your horizons, to express your creativity, to be able to make things up on the spot. I've even done it with students in lessons. The more skilled you are, the more ability you have, the better you can improvise, and the more comfortably you are doing so. And as someone who's appreciating jazz more and more, it's amazing to me when I think people who improvise. So we're going to improvise right now, but it's not going to be jazz style improvisation. And let's give it a go. And what I'd like you to do is, as I am writing, I'd like you to, if you could please, write down some ideas, some thoughts. Okay, if you could do that, that would be really, really wonderful. So please do so. And I don't know how many thoughts I'm going to have, but we'll see. All right, here we go. Hey, it works. Cool. Thoughts. So what do you think? And this is interesting because the question I have for you as you're listening to it, was it in major? Was it in minor? What do you think? Major or minor? Happy, sad? Esther types in the chat and makes her sad. What are your thoughts? Let's hear from you. What do you think? Esther is putting in both. Miguel says major. Ken says sad. Okay, can a piece of music actually be both? Could it actually have two purposes? Could a piece of music actually be in a major key, but it could bring someone to tears? Is that possible? Because as several people have noted here, and everybody has typed in major, and you're right, it is in major. I didn't play anything at all that was in minor. Nothing was in minor. Everything was in major. Yet, there are some of you who are saying, Italia Monia says, I feel like the sadness you felt for the loss of your friend, you let the instrument express your emotion. It's pretty good. And I will say that that was not what was going through my mind, but it could have been. I had other things that were going through my mind at the time. And Alexa, writes and says that it was very, very sentimental. And that's certainly a possibility. Alice, my moderator, says, sounds kind of down. And some of you may not really care for that. And you may be saying, wow, I don't know if I have as much self-worth and self-esteem and self-motivation after I hear that. But here's the question, though. Here's something to think about. If you love music, now, by the way, you don't have to have ability necessarily on this musical instrument. You may not have the best voice in the world. Do you have the ability to find pieces of music to make other people happy, to make other people sad, to be able to set a specific mood? I mean, that's what DJs do at weddings and other special occasions. We're at the point now where people don't even know what DJ stands for. All right, my students out there, do you remember what DJ is? Let's see if anybody remembers what DJ actually stands for. Do we know? See, we hear DJ, but when you don't, it's kind of like LOL. Do you know what LOL means? Do you know what OMG means? All those different types of things. And so knowing your acronyms is really important. A disc jockey, why disc jockey? Because back in the day, that was the thing that the jockeys, people who were on the radio, who were wearing things like this and speaking into a microphone just like me as they were going over the airwaves, they would play different types of, discs. It'd be records, then it went into cassette tapes, and then ultimately CDs. And now we're on digital platforms, or just about everything we can find is pretty much available on the internet. So it's interesting how a piece of music can be major, minor, can I think more importantly, can evoke feelings. And I think what I encourage to some of you in terms of motivating yourselves, in terms of your self-esteem, in terms of your self-worth, do you have that go-to piece of music? Do you have that music that can always brighten your day, can lift your spirits, can just make your mood better? I have that music. I wish I could play it for you. Unfortunately, the episode will get flagged right away. I can tell you right now, you want powerful music, you want powerful, dramatic, instrumental music, I'll give you a group. Here's a group right here. Yeah, this is a group. Two Steps from Hell. That's the name of a group. Well, it's mostly orchestral music, and it's amazing. And I've just been in this funk the last week or two, in between some of the jazz stuff that I've been listening to, and I've taken a little bit of a break from some of the motivational stuff. I've been listening a lot to this particular group. They are incredible, absolutely incredible. And you're going to hear pieces of music. If you're looking for words to move you, this is not the music for you. You'll hear some singing, and the singing is gorgeous, but it's not about the words. For me personally, it's the words. I've never been tremendously moved by words in songs in general. That's just me. It's definitely been a lot more about the harmonies. It's been a lot more about the melodies and all those other components, but not so much about the words. And for some of you, the words may be very important. So do you have that go-to music? And if you don't, maybe you, and we were so lucky again, you can go on to Google, you can type in that keyword search. You know, what do you play when you're depressed? What do you play when you're down? What do you play when you're already happy and you want to continue to be happy and want to keep the mood going? And you could find any style of music you want. Now, there are styles of music, though, that I don't encourage. And one, I'm not going to give you specific styles, but I will tell you that if you are feeling down, don't play music that's going to bring you down further. No. You gotta reprogram that mindset. That's not what you want to be doing. One of my least favorite things that I hear from students, and I'm sorry, I'm going to call out for what it is. I've had students say to me, I play music that I can relate to. Well, that's fine. But if the music you're relating to is all negative and it's loaded with profanity and it has no value in any way of making you a better person and making you a more productive human being, why are you listening to it? I know some of you are going to say, oh, he's talking about rap and hip hop. It's not true. There's other music out there. There's classical music. I avoid it. I don't listen to it because there are certain times I don't want to feel down. The first play, the first piece I played, the first Beethoven sonata, I don't put it on at times. I don't want to be down. And I intentionally will avoid that type of music. But I think some of you need to do the same thing, where we have the idea, well, I need music where I'm going to be able to relate to what? Relate to the fact that things are not going so well right now for whatever reason, whatever's going on in your life. So now I have made a conscious effort to put on music that's going to bring me down even further and make me think even more about my situation, about my self-worth, about my self-esteem, about my motivation, my discipline, and my overall being. Is that what you want? Is that what your goal is? To really think about that. Really think long and hard about it. And yeah, it's interesting. We're talking now music, and maybe a new mindset of the type of music you need to listen to, because there is music out there in each genre that is happy and, well, sad, that is void of any type of emotional value, and then other ones that can just flat out bring us to tears. You look no further than what I played on this big old instrument over here, and you notice that most of the notes I played were somewhat in the higher range. So I think it's everybody has a purpose for music, but it's a powerful thing. And again, you are lucky. It's 2019. You have access to anything you want. I mean, 99% of the music out there that you want to listen to, you can listen to it at any given time. You can find it online. You can find it on your phone. And as recently as, I don't know, 10 years ago or so, we didn't have that luxury. Pandora didn't exist. Spotify didn't exist. iTunes was, I think, just kind of getting started, and they weren't what they became and what they're evolving and turning into, going into the whole Apple Music thing. So what I want you to do now is I want you to take a moment, and I want you to take stock of yourself. I want you now, on that same piece of paper, write down, I want you to focus on 3 things. I think the magic 3. And I want you to focus specifically on your self-worth. 3 things, just 3 for right now, relating to your self-worth. How do you feel about yourself? And if you type something in here, that's fine. You don't have to. Again, I don't force people to do that. That's completely up to you. How do you feel about your self-esteem? It doesn't have to be necessarily right now. It could just be in general. You got to be careful with that. You don't necessarily just want to type or write how you feel right now specifically. I think you need to look at things from the broad picture, and the types of improvements that you've made in your life, or the things that you need to look at to get better. Whatever it needs to be done in terms of broadening your horizons, maybe meeting new people, making new friends, just interacting in other types of ways, finding things out of your comfort zone that are going to help you to improve your self-worth and self-esteem. I've heard so many motivational speakers, say, find the last 5 texts that you had, the last 5 conversations, the first 5 friends that come up, and you are probably a lot like them, and you probably relate to them. Here's the question: is that what you want? Is that what you want? Only one person has control over you. You have control over you, not someone else, not someone else's thoughts. If somebody asked me today, what do you do when somebody says something mean about you? Whatever. What? If you think that people are not saying things about you, you are sadly mistaken. Everybody talks about everybody because people have nothing else to do for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. I don't know why people are negative. I don't have an answer to that. I wish I had the answer. I don't. But I can tell you, when somebody says something, I don't know, I feel bad for them. I don't know. You feel that you have to say something mean about somebody else to feel better about yourself. That's sad. But I don't say anything to them. I just don't give them any type of attention. And if it's somebody who's a friend or an acquaintance of mine, I probably don't talk to them as much. Try to avoid them as best I can. Now we go one step further. So we have the self-worth, self-esteem. Now, what are things that you do to motivate yourself? So how about the self-motivation piece of the puzzle? What do you do to motivate yourself? What do you do to get really, really excited about something? Everybody is a little bit different. There are a lot of people I know who will motivate themselves, and one way that they do it is through physical activity. There are people who they get into. Thank you, Esther. That's really nice. There are a lot of people who they feel if they have a really, really good workout, it clears the mind. And there's definitely something to be said for that. I'll even say now with the weight loss and trying to just build up muscle tone in general, with whatever activities I do, I don't ever feel worse. Feeling sore doesn't mean that you feel worse. And being tired doesn't mean that you feel worse. The reality is that when you have a good workout, and when I'm saying workout, I'm talking about just going for a walk, just getting the body going and going out for a walk, and not just being cooped up somewhere, which is one of the worst things you can do and can really play a lot of games and play, it can really mess up your mind. When you just stay in the same place over and over. I look at students who I'll say to them, what did you do over the weekend? I stayed home the whole time. It's not good. At the very least, you got to get outside. You have to get outside. And it's not about, you need to get some fresh air. No, that's that's not it. You just need to change the environment. You need to change where you are. You can't be just cooped up in a particular dwelling all the time. You got to make that particular change. And you'd be amazed, even just simply doing any type of shopping, whether you have to go grocery shopping, you have to go clothes shopping or whatever, you'd be amazed. You actually will often feel better just by getting out of the particular situation that you're in, or the environment, I should say, that you're in. You will actually feel a lot better. So, and I can speak from experience. One of the reasons for my weight gain had to do with just inactivity. I was a string bean growing up, and I was so athletic. It was amazing. I had a lot of conversations with some family members this week with the passing of Adele, and we were talking so much about all of the different things. I mean, we're talking dawn to dusk every single day. The moment I would wake up in the summer, I was outside. I was outside doing something. I was doing something. I was so active, and I was probably eating 8,000 calories a day, and I was just burning right through them because I was just so active doing things, whether it was walking, whether it was running, whether it was playing all different types of sports, pickup games, biking all over creation. I mean, you name it, we did it. And this generation's a little bit different now in that way. I think that a lot of people feel it to be a little bit more forced. To paraphrase my favorite comedian of all time, I got to type his name. I don't really care. If you're not into profanity, you're not going to like him. But if you can deal with the profanity, the guy just makes too much sense. George Carlin, to me, greatest comedian that ever lived. And one of the things that made Carlin so incredible, what made George Carlin so amazing, is he spoke the truth. He took regular, everyday life situations and he'd go off on them. He'd go completely, totally off. And one of his shows that he started off by saying, I loved this. He started off one of his shows and he said, what is it about kids these days? Whatever happened to the stick? Whatever happened to kids just going out in the backyard and playing with a bleep stick? And he's talking about a stick, branch that fell off a tree. And it's so true. And I did that. No, I wasn't weird. That's what a lot of people did when you were my age. I mean, you went out into the backyard and you went out into the grass and you tried to look into the ground. You looked at the ants and you looked at the worms. And don't think that I'm weird, because I think that there's a lot to that. When you're broadening your horizons and you're understanding the world and you're learning more, and not getting that same information through technology. It's not the same. It's not the same when it's tactile, when you can make contact with it, when you can touch it, when you can feel it. And I think that there's something to that. I think there's something that Alice, it's great. Play with worms as a kid. Oh, I did too. But I think that there's a lot to that. I think that that there are too many people who the same things. A lot of the same things are there that were there many years ago. It's just that people don't do them. And I don't have an answer for that. I don't care where you live. I'll hear people say, "Oh, I live in, I teach students in an urban area," and they'll say, "Well, I don't have a backyard." Well, there's this thing. It's called a park, and there are parks. Every single place has parks. So you go into the park, which does usually have grass often enough, or you're going to be able to find a park that has grass, and just do something that's just totally different. And what's going to happen? People are going to think you're weird. Really? Yeah. That now you're worrying about things that, and that's something to think about in terms of your self-esteem, your self-awareness, self-motivation. You're the person that's taking the initiative. You're the one who's doing something that's different. Be different. Don't be the same as everyone else. You look at my quote this week from Marilyn Monroe, and I forgive me for a minute. I'm just going to pull the quote up for a second. The Monroe quote. But I mean, and I couldn't believe it when I was searching for quotes for this particular episode. I couldn't believe that she actually said this. And she says, wanting to be someone else is a waste of the person you are. This was Marilyn Monroe that said this. This was the blonde bombshell. This was someone who people knew for her outward beauty. But there was I think there were a lot of things inside of her, and she battled a lot of inner demons. She was actually, in a lot of ways, a very, very sad person. But I don't ever think that Marilyn Monroe, I mean, I can't speak for her, of course, but based on the research that I've done on her and her life, I don't think she ever wanted to ever be someone else. I think she was always happy with who she was. She may have not always loved her appearance. She may have not loved certain things about it, but I don't think she ever wanted to be someone else. And she's right. That's a waste. When you're trying to be like someone else, there's only one you. And as Les Brown has said so many times, you survived 40 million or 40 billion sperm. It happened, and you're here. And you're here, and there's a reason you're here. And we have to figure out what that reason is. And are you wasting it? Are you just casting this out? Or are you taking it from someone like my former student, Adele, who lived life to the fullest? It was never looking to another day to dying. It was another day living. And I think we all need to kind of reprogram, rewire our mindset when it comes to that. So yeah, tonight is pretty powerful and it's pretty deep, and that was the intention of tonight's episode. I had several people that made requests for this. I'm very, very delicate when I think about episodes that may relate to people needing self-help and or just help. And people who have issues relating to depression and things of that nature. And believe me, that's something that I want to do. But I am, if any people who know me, I don't do things halfway. When I do things, they have to be done correctly. And I'm not going to do that type of episode. It's too important of an episode. And when that time comes, and it will happen, I'm going to make sure that I have someone who is far more qualified than me. And not just me just rattling it off the top of my head, and hopefully to get someone who's a therapist and someone who's going to be able to join me on the podcast and be able to answer questions and be able to hopefully help out in some way, shape, or form. So I definitely encourage that. All right, we are going to wrap up the episode before we get to the two $15 Amazon gift cards. And the only way you are going to get this information is by listening right now. I'm not typing it in here. I'm not going to type it in here. I'm going to say it into the microphone right here. So if you want to, what I will do to help you out, so we're at the 1 hour, 10-minute mark. Okay, so 70 minutes in. I'm going to give you the details on this massive giveaway. Huge giveaway. So I'm running a very, very special promotion. I'm actually going to grab a little bit of water here because it'll take me a little bit of time to explain to you. All right, here we go. So here's what the promotion is. Tonight is, we're on, I'll be okay, June 6th, so Thursday, June 6th. This promotion is going to run, or contest, I should say, is going to run until Wednesday, June 19th. Excuse me, Wednesday, June 19th. It's going to expire at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you basically have 2 weeks. Here's what you need to do. It's very, very simple. This is not a random drawing. I'm going to tell you what the 3 prizes are. There are going to be 3 prizes, and they're not going to be done randomly. It's going to be earned. Third place, $25. That's right, $25 Amazon gift card. That's for third place. Second place is going to be a $50 Amazon gift card. Get some good stuff with that. Look at these headphones, by the way. These are actually made by, as my hair goes crazy here. These are made by Symphonized, and I think I got these for I want to say $25. So yeah, So yeah, Alice, you can type that in. That's totally fine. But I don't want you to type in what they have to do. So please don't type that in, Alice. So you can type in what the giveaway is going to be. These headphones are incredible, though. They may look cheap. They're not. They are. When you have two inputs like this, we got high quality going on here. All right. So third place, $25 Amazon gift card. Second place is going to be a $50 Amazon gift card. 50. You can do so much with that, obviously. First place, this is the biggie. First place, you're going to get a $25 Amazon gift card. You know why? Because you deserve it. Because I love being able to help people out. Why do I do Amazon? Amazon's so good to me. And they've done so many amazing things. Anytime that anything's been an issue or whatever, they always fix it very quickly. And I know people hate on Amazon. But at any rate, though, first place, $25 gift card. Oh, that's right. Not one, but two. And I apologize, I don't have them right now. They're down in my car. I promise I do have them. I'm going to show them in a separate episode. 2 free all-day passes to Six Flags. 2 of them. Any idea how much an all-day pass costs? Yeah, that would be $87. $87 for an all-day pass, as in you get to go on everything. 2 of them. Okay, you get to go all day. So we're basically talking about it's going to be $180 first prize. This is huge. Really, really big. That's why I'm not giving it away randomly. And I'm going to tell you why I'm not giving it away randomly, because people like you have made the commitment. You're the ones who tuned in. You're the ones who listened. You're the ones who stuck in the episode for 70 minutes. And now you get this information. You can get going right away and get the head start on everyone else, because I am not announcing this anywhere else for the next few days. Eventually, I'm going to put an episode on that's going to say everything about the promotion. It'll be sometime this weekend, but you can get a head start right now. Episode 285 is going to have all of the details. Okay, so the details on the promotion. But you know what? Because you tuned in tonight, you get all that information now. But we're just not going to type it into the chat. It means you got to listen. All right, so here's what it is. Okay, here's what you got to do. And it's just basically racking up points. Okay, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be doing a point system. How do you get points? Very, very simple. The person who has the most points wins. Simple as that. If I happen to have a tie for first place, then we'll just do a random whatever, we'll throw them into the hat, and one person will get first, one person will get second. All right. So here is what you have to do. It's very, very simple. One way that you can rack up points is by getting new subscribers. How do you do that? Well, it's very, very simple. You can probably yourself figure out that there are ways you can be a new subscriber. Okay, with the magic of Google accounts and things of that nature, maybe you can try to figure out some new accounts of your own, and you can get others to help you out in that type of way. Here's what you have to do, though. You're going to need to contact me. You're going to have to contact me, and you're going to have to let me know, and there's only one way that you can let me know, and I will put it in here. Okay, I will put that. I'm going to type that in right now. Alice, I don't even think knows this. This is something that's going to be new. This is the email address. It is the only email address where I will accept this information. It's the only one. And make sure that in that email, if you're going to send anything to this email, you have to make sure to identify yourself. You certainly have to be a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, I'm not even going to bother, because you have to be a subscriber, of course. Subscribers deserve it. So the name of the email, this is the dedicated email for this show, moving forward, okay, is very, very simply gettingitdonelive@gmail.com. Gettingitdonelive@gmail.com. You know why? Because we get it done every single week live on here, unlike many other podcasts that are out there. So what you need to do, and you can send me as many emails as you want. Make sure again to identify yourself so you're getting credit for these points. And I'm going to be checking that email like crazy. So 2 different things you have to do. Number 1, you get a new subscriber, you can send all the subscribers in one email. That would make my life a lot easier rather than sending me 27 separate emails. But that's fine too. I'm going to be reading everything and calculating it all because I'm going to be looking at this email frequently. What you're going to do is in there, make sure to identify yourself, who you are, and then not in the subject, but put it in the actual email itself. Just simply put new subscriber or identify who the new subscribers are, and just put their name. So for instance, let's just say that Alice Wonder was a new subscriber. So what you would do is in the email, you would say, I got a new subscriber, Alice Wonder, or I got these new subscribers, and you would put all of their names. So you get credit. Now, how am I going to know they're a new subscriber? Well, because I have access to that. I know if we have new subscribers. Now, here's where it gets a lot of fun, though. You can start racking up your points right now without even the subscribers. Now, there's only so many points you're going to be able to rack up, but you want to start doing it now. What you need to do is you need to go through all of my videos on this channel, all of them, or as many as you want. You only need to go to one video if you only want 1 point. But if you go through every single video, I think I have well over 30 videos in this channel. I want to say close to 40 videos. You go to every single video. You got to do 2 things with each video. You got to do a like, make sure to do that like, and you got to put a comment. Please don't put in the comment, cool. I'll do that again. Cool. Okay, please don't do that. I mean, put something in there, some type of comment that's going to make you not look like you're a robot or anything like that. But so just hit that like button, put some type of comment in there, because I'm going to be looking at all my videos to see the comments. And I would like you to put some types of things in there that may even relate to the videos. The more you do that, the more that's going to ultimately help me. All right. So 2 different ways that you can gain points. The first way, get new subscribers. Each new subscriber you get a point for. And then the second way is by putting comments in there and hitting the like button, you'll get a point. Oh, but there's more. You see, any new subscribers that you are responsible for, if that subscriber, the new subscriber, goes in and makes comments, you get points for that. So let's do the math. Let's say I have 40 videos. I think I have around that, okay? And you go right now to all of my videos and you type in comments for all 40 videos and you hit the like button on all 40 of them. Okay, you've done that. You just got 40 points. Now you're saying to yourself, how do I get more points? Well, it's simple. Get a new subscriber. So now you get a new subscriber and say to that subscriber, you got to do me a favor. Okay, or if the new subscriber is maybe one of your own accounts, you need to do then is you need to take that account or tell that person and go through all the videos again and hit the like button and make sure that you put some type of comment in there. Next thing you know, I'm telling you right now, if anybody does this right, I personally think the winner is going to have hundreds of points. So just getting 2 or 3 new subscribers is not going to cut it. Just going on there and just commenting and only doing it one time, that's not going to cut it. And this is going to be very competitive. And I'm not going to be giving really much information away as to where things are with the contests. You're going to have to really just work your tail off if this is something that you really want. And again, free is free. But this time you're going to have to work for it. It's not just going to be a random thing. And I think that my subscribers deserve that. You've hung in there and I appreciate it. And some people have already done the smart thing. They've already hit the thumbs up. Some of them said, sick of listening to this guy, okay, with him and his hair and his gray shirt and these weird headphones he's got on and everything. And the fact that yeah, it's true. This has been sitting here the whole time. This Chobani has been sitting here the whole time. Yeah, it's a Chobani on steroids. This thing is 40 ounces, and I'm not going to have the whole thing tonight. I'm going to have a little bit, though, because I love yogurt. So, at any rate, that's the information. So again, what's at stake? Well, a first prize, it's worth $180. Hello, 2 all-day passes to Six Flags and a $25 Amazon gift card. $180 for first place. Second place is going to be a $50 Amazon gift card. Third place, $25 Amazon gift card. Do you tell all your friends? No, because why would you do that? You want to win. But you also need to get subscribers, and you are going to have to tell some of your friends. Now, if you get a new subscriber and you're worried about them, well, I wouldn't worry about them. If you're working harder than them, you're going to be ahead of them anyway. Because if let's just do basic math here, you're already going to have 40 points right out of the chute if you just take care of all those comments and those likes. So you're going to be ahead of the subscriber anyway, because if that person wants to get other subscribers too, they're still going to be behind you, if you understand. Okay, you understand the math. So hopefully that has been a good enough explanation for you for right now. Again, it's not in the chat. I'm going to have a separate video. I'm going to be releasing it this weekend. I'm not saying when, but I'll have all that information out there. And again, the contest is going to expire 13 days from today. It's going to expire on Wednesday, June 19th, 2019, 11:59 p.m. PM Eastern Standard Time. I do want to say the Amazon gift cards are all coming from me. That comes directly from my bankroll associated with the podcast. But the passes didn't. The passes did not. The 2 passes, I have an angel. I have several angels out there, and there was an angel who came to me today and said, I would like to donate these 2 passes to your show. And so that person, I cannot thank them enough. They wanted to simply donate them, and it was just a situation. I can't get into all the specifics, but they were not able to be used. By the way, this pass, it can be any time from now until I believe it's September 22nd. So you have a lot of time. You pick that one day, you go with whoever it is that you want to go with, and you just have the absolute best time. And wow, what a deal. Amazing. So incredible. Just to answer Alexa's question real quickly, how will I know who got the subscribers? You have to tell me. You claim them. Claim that subscriber. And I, again, who's the person who has the access to subscribers? I do. I'm the only person that can see who those new subscribers are. So I'm going to see those new subscribers. You're going to claim who those people are. And do it right away. So so I know right away. And again, that email address, I'll put it in here again, and I will put it also into the description once I close out the episode. So now I'll put it into the description. So all email, any communication moving forward should go to this email, gettingitdonelive@gmail.com. And I'll be checking that frequently. Again, anybody who does communicate with me, if you're just calling to say, hey, please, again, keep it professional. It's the only thing I do ask. All right. And yeah, so that's the situation with that. I am looking. So, Jazzy, you got to take care of that. You got to get yourself a Gmail app. It's not hard to do. Okay. All right. So I need 2 names here because we have to do, remember again, not just 1, but 2 Amazon gift cards tonight. So let's see who our names are. Let's see if I have that information from the great Alice. Let's see. Okay. Hopefully Alice will get a nice chuckle over one of the texts. I didn't send any text before that. Okay. No drum rolls yet. No drum rolls yet. Okay. Okay. All right. So we have 2 $15 gift cards. 2 $15 gift cards we're going to be giving. Okay. Okay. We have our 2 winners. Our 2 winners are here. So here we go. I need a little bit, some drum. Look at you people. Look at them go. Wow. Michelle Gallegos hooking us up right away with the drum roll. I got to tell you something. I'm going to say it again. Get people out. Come on, let's get some more people out here. We have so many of you, and I'm glad that you guys have become friends with each other. Come on, let's get some more people. Let's get more people to subscribe, get more people involved in this chat. This is fun every night. We always have fun here at Getting It Done. That's what life is all about. getting it done. And they're like, will you be quiet and just give away the gift cards already, Rausenberger? Well, we're going to do it right now. Here you go. Drum roll. First one, drum roll. Here it comes. Wow. Look at Alexa with lots of praying hands. Here it comes. First gift card is going to Italia Monia. Italia Monia, congratulations. You are the proud recipient of a $15 Amazon gift card. Congratulations, Italia. I hope that I got that name correct. I hope I did all right with that, with the pronunciation of that name. So congratulations on your $15 Amazon gift card. In order to get the gift card, again, send me an email to gettingitdonelive@gmail.com. So please do that. Again, how do we do it? Each week you have to be a subscriber, of course. You have to do some chatting, and then we do our random generator. Okay, we are now up to deux, as the French say. Deux. What is it? Poo poo. Ho ho ho. Here we go. Deux. Deux gift card, Amazon gift card, $15. Let's see who it's going to. Some more drum rolls. Let's see what we got here. Some more drum rolls. All right. Italia, we love you. You're out of the way now. All right, you're out of the way. Here we go. Drum roll, please. Here we go. A lot of praying again. Here come the praying hands. Esther Almanzar, you have won the $15 gift card because your 60 days since the last time you won your gift card, that has expired. And I am very proud to say that you managed to win it once again. So this is what happens. You are a faithful chatter. You're a faithful subscriber, and it couldn't happen to a nicer person. So I'm very, very happy for you. That is just fantastic. So Italia and Esther, make sure to contact me. Send me an email to gettingitdonelive at I'll be okay. Gettingitdonelive@gmail.com. Make sure to send an email. And thank you, as always, to everyone for tuning in. Really appreciate your support each and every week. Next week, the goal is to hopefully be sitting at a Spanish restaurant. We're looking at a Spanish restaurant in Union City, New Jersey. Hopefully we'll be all set up there for a nice, at minimum, hour podcast, maybe even go a little bit longer. And so I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. Love you all so much. You're all amazing. Please, again, make sure that you have liked the episode. Make sure you get other people to subscribe. Get going on that contest. Don't tell other people. Shh. Okay, so you can get going right now, get an edge over the competition, do what you need to do so you can start racking up those points. And every single time that you get a new subscriber, you get that new subscriber and you have liked and commented. The liking and the commenting, you don't even have to tell me about, because I'm going to be able to look at that. I do need to know about the subscribers, so you got to email me about that. I will be going through all of my videos. I'm going to be keeping a tally, see where things are at. So hopefully before the end of the night, all of you will go to all of the videos. You're going to make some type of comments. You're going to be banging that like button. And the more, the merrier. Just keep things moving along here. And I really appreciate it. So thank you all so much. You are absolutely the best. And I look forward to hopefully a little bit of food next week. We'll be checking out some things like along the food from the food industry, but also the following week. Beyond that, I'm looking at doing some more things that may involve getting back out on the road and possibly going to some different types of stores. So you are the best, and I think I've said that now about 17 times, but you know what? It doesn't get old. And with that, I say peace.